So, what we're going to get into today is the topic of forgiveness. And I have this chart I kind of wrote down. So, forgiveness about yourself, forgiveness about any, past trauma, abuse that you've dealt with, forgiveness about any friends that have betrayed you, that have done you wrong, that, when you needed a hand or something and, you've always you always give out and people please, but, it doesn't happen. Same thing with the family members, any siblings, when you just, forgiveness for everything. I guess I would say for that one. I went a little deep into that one, but this is truly about forgiveness because Jesus asked us. He asked us that, you know, he says, oh, let's go into it right here, right now. What he says into it about Matthew 5:22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath ought against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. So, what he's asking us is to, forgive everyone, and as you've seen with other people, through posts and media, you know, forgiveness isn't just about like forgiving, that person, but it's also about like forgiving yourself, so that you can learn how to like move on from that situation, So you're forgiving whatever that situation was, not just that person too, but you're forgiving that situation. So, you can allow yourself to move forward in life. Some people, we can't move forward at all. We might have like, past trauma, that just comes out of nowhere, abuse that's happened, physical or in that, relation of, well, that really sucks, but I also don't want to get it monetized, but sexual abuse. So, it's really difficult, but, that stuff that happens to us in life, family, friends, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it was, betrayal that has happened, all of that needs to be forgiven because we will be liable for judgment. And at the same time, it's not also that I mean, that is what you should be fearing the most, But the main thing about this is that if you are able to forgive those who have done you wrong, past trauma, your family members, your friends, then you are able to let go of that situation, and that situation doesn't affect you no more. It doesn't like live rent free in your head, and you're able to actually move on and actually like attain peace. Because now when you're walking, I don't know if you're walking through the grocery outlet, I don't know if you're walking through the park, I don't know if you're walking through some base or some, I say that for the military people, some base or somewhere I don't know where you're walking to, but seeing these little things, even on Instagram, which is social media, is a really brutal one because you see that the most, especially, the devil's always going to try to remind you of everything. He calls you by your sin, and Jesus calls you by your name. But in everything that you're going to be doing in life, you're always going to be reminded of that person or of that situation because you haven't forgiven the person. And in every little thing that you see, it's going to remind you of them. Or sometimes it might just not happen because you're bloating it, you're bottling it up, and then out of nowhere you blow because, you just saw something that situation, and it's like, that's going to keep happening. That cycle's going to keep on happening. And I don't know for what it is for other people, but maybe this is encouraging or not encouraging. But for me personally, I am tired of letting these cycles be my fault. I'm tired of not being obedient, though I am not as obedient as I should be to the Lord. But I try my best, I try not to cuss as much as I should or as much as I can. Or, I don't like, I try not to. And, also with that being said, the people that you surround yourself with, they eventually will make you who like they are as well. So it's like you're tainting yourself with them. So you also have to set boundaries within people, people that you love, people that you've cared for so long. There has to be a certain limit on boundaries because if not, hey man, you're putting yourself in that situation or woman, you're putting yourself in that situation, and you're the one tainting yourself, and that's not a good thing. And the Lord would not approve of that, because you're going to see the destruction that you're going to cause on yourself just by hanging with them over and over and over again. Yes, you can see them. Yes, you can probably go get a bite of food in the morning, breakfast, something light, but try not to let yourself get like so caught up in that with people, friends, siblings, family, parents. Boundaries is important always, but also it is not wise to leave them, because they are God's children. But if someone is really deep in there with their own sin, and you gotta just forgive them in a situation, let them be. Everyone learns at their own pace, so that's just my advice personally from what I've learned. There's tons of other people who have given better advice than I am giving right now. I'm barely learning how to do this. I'm barely learning how to post, but this is just the advice I have to give. Excuse me. I just ate hot Cheetos. Not good. Not good. But yeah, this is just my advice I have to give. Forgiveness frees you. It frees you, and sometimes you have to also for the people that need to apologize. You don't apologize to be forgiven. You apologize to also relieve yourself. Like let that situation go. Let it not be in your head anymore. Let that guilt die down now. Let it die. Let it be at your footstool. Let it be at your feet. Let everything be down. It's time to let go. Let go of it all. That's really what it comes down to. And yeah, that's honestly what I can say most is forgiveness, apologizing, not to be forgiven, but to be freed of that situation, because your conscience won't let you go, which is also the devil putting the devil gives you anxiety, anxiousness, all those things. But Jesus gives you peace, love, sound mind. That's what he gives. He is not confusion. He is precisely love. He is there. But yeah, that's honestly all the advice I can give. If anyone likes what I've given, I hope you learn something or two from this. Really, really try to forgive whoever it is that done you harm, no matter how bad it was. Just forgive it. Vengeance is not yours. Vengeance is the Lord's. And even then, sometimes I can't help but think about that vengeance, and I still wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. So I would still pray for them, because you got to see everyone as a brother and a sister here. Even those that are old and stubborn, even those that are young and really, I'm gonna say dumb, because we are all dumb, but those that are young and ignorant, because even I was ignorant, and so are many ignorant, no matter what age it is. We just gotta forgive everyone. That is the end of my video. But yeah, I'm new to this, recording this. I'm gonna keep doing this as often as I can. Talking about principalities, forgiveness, love, and certain words in the scripture. So, for today was Matthew 5:22. Go to 24. That's basically where I went to. That is the verse of the day. Matthew 5:22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Raka, shall be in danger of the council, but whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath ought against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. I'll see you guys around.